Hi. I hope I don't get too distracted. I'm dog sitting and super sweet puppies. They're not baby puppies, but they're really super sweet dogs, and I am totally enjoying it. Anyway, I'm going to read a little bit more, and I hope that you'll follow along. I'm not a good reader. My vocabulary sucks, and I don't pronounce things correctly, and I stumble and stutter, but I enjoy doing this, and I really would like to get a group of people to start conversing about their faith and being able to share what we believe, how we feel, what we think, and stuff like that, and share. I don't want any arguments or fighting or any of that on here. We can agree to disagree, and we can say what we believe. We can help each other search out things we don't know about or ask questions and answer the best we can. With that, I'm going to go ahead and start. Like I said, I'm reading Walk in the Light series, Restoration by Todd Bennett, and I will leave the link in the description box so that if you're interested, he has a series of 12 books, so if you're interested in them, you can go on there and order them. They're he's a they're very good books. I have all of them. So I have not read them all, and hopefully in doing this, I will be able to read them all and have a discussion about them. So with that said, I'm going to start the third, and I'm still in the introduction because I like to stop and think. I like to stop and comment on some of the stuff that I read. I'm not really fidgety, sorry. Okay, let's go. For instance, when I read Matthew 7:21 through 23, I always felt uncomfortable. In that scripture, the Messiah says, "Not everyone who says to me, 'Lord, Lord,' will enter the kingdom of heaven, but he who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. Many will say to me that on that day, 'Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in your name, and driven out demons in your name, and done many mighty works in your name?' And then I will say to them openly, publicly, 'I never knew you. Depart from me, you who act wickedly, disregarding my commands.'" That is from the Amplified Bible he puts on here. The passage of scripture always bothered me because it sounded an awful lot like the modern day Christian church. In particular, the charismatic churches which I have been attending, where the gifts of the Spirit were operating. According to the scriptures passage, it was not the people who believed in the spiritual manifestations that were being rejected. It was those who were actually doing them. I would think that this would give every Christian pause for concern. For first of all, in that day, there are many people who will be calling the Messiah Lord. They will also be performing incredible spiritual acts allegedly in his name. Ultimately, through the Messiah will openly and publicly tell them to depart from him. He will tell them that he never knew them, and specifically, he defines them by their actions, which is the reason for the rejection. They act wickedly or lawlessly. In short, they disobeyed his commands, his commandments. Also, it seems very possible that see what I mean? Also, it seems very possibly that while they thought they were doing these things in his name, they were not, because they may have never known his name. In essence, they did not know him, and he did not know them. I mean, think about it. they use God. God is a title. They use Lord, they use the Father. That's a title. What is the Father's name? I know it to be Yahweh. Some people say Yahuwah. Regardless, I believe that it's Yahweh, and there's a lot of study that goes behind that. Now, I will say that I have a lot of stuff on my computer. I can read a lot of different things, and I form an opinion, I form my beliefs. However, what's kind of bad with me that really bothers me is I don't retain information, and it is very difficult for me. I would never argue with anybody. I wouldn't argue with them anyway, but I'm just saying that for me to sit there and say, I believe this, and this is where it's stated, this is where I read it, this is where it is in Scripture, is very difficult for me because I don't retain a lot. Hopefully, in doing this, reading, and with the help of others, and studying, and fellowshipping, that will change. That hopefully through all of that I will retain more. However, that is very frustrating to know something in your heart, and it's like I know certain things, but I can't tell you where I found it, where I got it, exactly. I don't have it at my fingertips all the time. I mean, it's not like I can carry my library with me and stuff, so it makes it hard. So hopefully that will change in doing all of this. Anyway, I will read one more paragraph, and I don't want to make these too long, so I'm going to read a little bit more, but that was just something because it even says in some of the scriptures, you will find in some of the King James versions, that it will say in the beginning that his name is Yahweh, but it never refers to him by that. Now, there is a restored King James version, which they're going back to the Hebrew names and stuff, which is really cool. I do have that one. So they're bringing the name back, which is really amazing. So with that, it is important that people learn who he is. It's not Jehovah. It's not all these, they say that he has a bunch of different names. That's not the case. He has one name. You have one name, unless you change your name legally. I mean, your name, no matter where you go, is your name. You don't change it because you're in a different country or something. I mean, it stays the same. Anyway, I'm dragging that one out. Alrighty. So then it goes on to say, I think that many Christians are haunted by this scripture because they do not understand who it applies to or what it means, and if they were truly honest, they must admit that there is no other group on the face of the planet that can refer to, except for the Christian church, that the series provides the answer to the quandary and should provide resolution for any who have suffered anxiety over this verse. Ultimately, my search for answers brought me right back to the starting point of my faith. I was left with the question, what is the origin, the substance of this religion called Christianity? I was forced to explore the very foundations of my faith and to examine many of the beliefs which I subscribe to and test them against the truth of the scripture. Okay, I'm going to stop there. And I know this is going to take a while and that this is long, but I think that it's important because he is saying to start at the beginning and that we should test everything with the scriptures. Um, so with that, I'm going to stop this and then, because it's already 10 minutes long, and I will work on number 4. But I'm hoping that some people will respond, like, subscribe to this particular one. This is Yahweh's Child, the channel, I called it that. And that I can actually respond to some comments, maybe read some for food for thought. So with that, I'm going to say goodbye, and you all have a good night. Take care. Bye.